All right, today we're jumping headfirst into one of the most intense and, let's be honest, misunderstood visions ever recorded, the Revelation of John. Now, forget trying to decode it like some ancient puzzle. Instead, we're going to experience it for what it is, an absolutely epic story of the end of one world and the beginning of another. Let's get into it. I mean, that line just hits you, right? It sets the stage perfectly. We're not just reading some old book. We're being pulled directly into a world-changing vision, a prophecy that feels cinematic from the very first moment. So, how are we going to tackle this massive story? We'll break it down into 6 parts, following the narrative. We'll start with John getting his mission, then watch things escalate with the opening of the 7 seals and the sounding of the 7 trumpets. After that, we'll see the cosmic war behind it all, witness the final judgment, and finish with the incredible vision of a new heaven and a new earth. Our story kicks off with a man named John, and he's not in a great place. He's in exile, stuck on the remote island of Patmos. But it's right here, in total isolation, that he receives a message that is going to change everything. Can you just imagine that? You're alone, and suddenly a voice, as loud and clear as a trumpet, shatters the silence. John is given a job. He has to be a scribe for this divine vision, to write down everything he's about to see and send it off to 7 early Christian communities. And what's so fascinating is that before any of the world-ending chaos begins, the vision gets personal, really personal. It's like a spiritual report card for these 7 churches, each getting a unique message of praise, serious warnings, or urgent calls to wake up. It kind of grounds the whole thing, you know? It reminds us that all the epic stuff to come has real-world meaning for actual people. And just like that, the scene shifts. We're ripped away from Earth and taken right into the throne room of heaven. And the focus of everything is this mysterious scroll sealed shut with 7 seals. Opening this scroll means unleashing the future. But there's a huge problem. No one, in heaven or on earth, is worthy enough to even open it. Just as it feels like all hope is lost, a hero appears. But it's not what you'd expect. It's the Lamb who was slain. This incredibly powerful image, a symbol of sacrifice and vulnerability, is the only one with the authority to break the seals and get the future rolling. So, as the Lamb starts breaking these seals, bam! The first 4 unleash probably the most famous and terrifying figures from the entire book, the 4 horsemen. You've got conquest, war, famine, and finally death itself. Together, they represent a complete and total breakdown of civilization as we know it. Then the vision pivots. The 5th seal isn't another plague on earth. Instead, it's a scene in heaven, showing the souls of martyrs crying out for justice. But with the 6th seal, we're thrown right back into chaos on a terrifying scale. A massive earthquake, the sun goes black, the moon turns to blood, and stars literally fall from the sky. And then this. After all that cosmic violence, the 7th seal is opened. And what happens? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just this deep, heavy silence that falls over all of heaven for about half an hour. It's this incredibly tense, eerie pause, like the universe is holding its breath before the next act begins. Well, that silence is the calm before an even bigger storm. It's broken by 7 angels who are given 7 trumpets. And every single blast from these trumpets is going to signal a new, more devastating way of judgment on the world. The scale is about to get a whole lot bigger. Now, a really important pattern starts to emerge with these trumpets, the fraction 1/3. See, the first trumpet unleashes this storm of fire that wipes out 1/3 of the earth, 1/3 of the trees, 1/3 of the grass. The destruction is huge, but it's not total. It's a warning shot, not the final blow. The assault on the natural world just keeps coming. The second trumpet sends something like a burning mountain crashing into the sea, turning 1/3 of it to blood. Then the 3rd trumpet sends a blazing star called wormwood down to poison 1/3 of all the freshwater rivers and springs, making them undrinkable. With the 5th trumpet, things shift from ecological disaster to just pure supernatural horror. The bottomless pit is literally unlocked, and a swarm of demonic locusts comes pouring out. But their goal isn't to eat plants. It's to inflict 5 months of agonizing torment directly on people, specifically anyone without divine protection. Okay, so now the vision kind of pulls the curtain back. We've been seeing all this chaos happening on Earth, and now we're about to see the reason for it all. A massive symbolic war happening on a cosmic scale, completely behind the scenes of human history. At the very heart of this cosmic war are two incredible symbolic figures. First, there's a woman, shining, clothed with the sun, about to give birth to a child who's destined to rule. And against her is this enormous red dragon, who the text flat out tells us is Satan, waiting to destroy the child the second it's born. This is the central conflict. This symbolic tension just explodes into all-out war in the heavens. The archangel Michael and his angels go up against the dragon and his forces, and it's a decisive fight. The dragon loses, gets kicked out of heaven for good, and is thrown down to earth, focusing all of his rage and destruction on the world. And that brings us to the climax. The partial judgments from the seals and the trumpets, those are over. This is the endgame. 7 angels appear with 7 golden bowls, and these bowls contain the 7 last plagues, which will complete God's wrath. Just notice the speed and the totality here. We're done with the 1/3 destructions. This is absolute. We see awful sores, the entire sea turning to blood where everything dies. The sun itself becomes a weapon of fire, and a whole kingdom is thrown into darkness. And that 6th bowl? It dries up a major river to set the stage for the final showdown, the Battle of Armageddon. When that 7th angel pours his bowl into the air, a loud voice booms from the throne in heaven and declares, "It is done." And this is followed by the most powerful earthquake in human history, cities crumbling to dust, and hailstones the size of boulders falling from the sky. That declaration means one thing. It is absolutely, irrevocably over. The final confrontation arrives when heaven itself opens up. The divine champion, the one who first showed up as a sacrificial lamb, now comes back as a conquering warrior on a white horse. His name is Faithful and True, and he leads the armies of heaven to a swift and final victory over the Beast, the story's symbol for all corrupt human power, and his armies. The cosmic war is finally over. And after all of that, all the fire, the judgment, the cosmic battles, the entire tone of the vision makes this breathtaking shift. The old world, the first heaven and first earth, are gone. And what John sees next is the ultimate resolution, a vision of complete and total restoration. John sees this holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven. And the way it's described, it's just incredible, a place of stunning beauty with foundations made of precious jewels. But what's really amazing is what's not there. There's no temple, because God's presence is right there with everyone. There's no need for a sun or moon, because his glory provides the light. And the river of life and the tree of life are back, signaling that this is a new Eden, a complete restoration of all things. So, here we are at the end. We have journeyed through cosmic wars, terrifying plagues, and an epic conflict between good and evil. But the story doesn't end with destruction. It ends with this beautiful vision of a restored creation, where pain and death are gone forever. And that really leaves us with a final question to think about. After all that chaos, what is the ultimate promise this vision is trying to leave us with?